Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another thrilling edition of the program. In today's episode of I Have Not Serviced My Car in Over 12 Months, we have this Mitsubishi Lancer. Now I know what you're thinking, Andrew, a year ain't that long, but it's not just the year or the time frame which is what is concerning. What's concerning is when it was last serviced, which was this many kilometers, to now having this many kilometers. And I mean, take a look at this engine bay. Has anyone been in there? I don't think so. So I asked the customer, when was the air filter done last? I don't know. They then said, what about the spark plugs? Not sure. Cabin filter, brakes, suspension, anything been documented? I'm not sure. Hey, listen, that's totally fine. Just hand me the logbook, please. What's the logbook? All right, let's do it all. So instead of guessing, instead of mucking around, what we will be doing is the following: air filter, cabin filter, spark plugs, fuel filter, and engine oil, fully synthetic. Now, I know what you're thinking. You normally use Penrite, and that is true. But they didn't have Penrite today. And Nulon's really good, fully synthetic, the correct weight, the correct oil for said vehicle. So this is what we'll be using. I mean, it's better than what's already in it. So let's change this stuff. Now, a good rule of thumb, what I do is, I do all the clean stuff first. So we're talking air filters, cabin filters, spark plugs. Then we can move on to the engine oil filter, this kind of stuff. So we don't dirty the actual stuff that needs to stay clean. All right, as stated, air filter first. Now this style of air filter is a bit weird because it's actually a part of the airbox. All right, let's have a look. Look, not too bad. So what we'll quickly do is block this air intake and remove the actual rag and then chuck the new one in. From there, what I'm going to do is, and I tend to do this now because it does seem to make a big difference in the long term, especially if no one else is doing it, and that is to remove this mass airflow sensor and clean it. Because you've got to remember, the mass airflow sensor registers the amount of air going into the engine, thus the ECU knows how much fuel to give it. Looks like this. Give it a spray from the airflow side with some mass airflow cleaner. Once that's clean, chuck it back in, and you'd be surprised how much better fuel economy performance you get just giving that a little clean. Now onto the spark plugs. Now if you remember that Corolla video and the spark plugs look like this, we're not going to change them if they don't look like that. As in, if somebody else has already gotten to them, now they use the Iridium plugs. Generally speaking, they'll probably be changed around 80,000, 100,000 Ks. But if I pull one out and it's not all messed up, the tip's not burnt off, it doesn't have that yellow tinge around the porcelain, we may just leave it because in fact somebody may have done it, but we won't know until we pull one out. So let's do that. Oh! Here they are, the coil packs. The spark plugs are under them, but you already knew that. So let's check number one. These are quite, I won't say loose, but definitely not tight as you would think they would be for being in there for those many kilometers. Oh, yes, they have never been changed. As mentioned before, I don't think they've been changed. So like I said, that's why we check before we just change anything, but you can even see the tip is worn away quite a bit. Now an obvious point is, and this may seem weird, make sure the spark plugs are the same part number because you do not want to be ramming the wrong spark in there. You do not want to get into drama like that. So just do yourself a second and check. FR5EI, FR5EI. We're good to go. So he got that many Ks out of this vehicle on what we can assume is the original set of spark plugs. So he's doing pretty good. All right, so the spark plug has bottomed out. Now, what I normally tend to do to save stripping the head is just a quarter turn more. Done. That all the spark plugs have been replaced, which is good because they were very bad. So with that done, we'll jump in the car, change this cabin filter. Now it's all adding up. The air filter was dirty, the spark plugs haven't been done. Let's just hope this cabin filter isn't too blocked up, or I should say full of shit. So with this cabin filter, it's very straightforward. There's that little bit you saw me just pop off on the side, then you just squeeze the actual glove box together and it all falls down, giving you access. Hey, listen, if you guys are thinking about, in terms of younger fellas out there, getting something you can work on, something that's pretty reliable if you get the right car, these model Lancers are so good. Everything's cheap, everything's easy to work on, and at the end of the day, if something does go wrong, it really isn't that difficult to fix. But let's get back to the video. Ah, aftermarket cabin filter, so someone's done it. No, that's good then. I dare say perhaps it's been done once. It's absolutely chockers. Compared to this nice brand new one, I think everything should be getting filtered a lot better. Make sure the arrow is facing down towards the blower. And it is as simple as that. Check this glove box back on, and now we're going to change the oil. While we're here, it's actually probably a good test to see. This guy hasn't changed the oil in over a year, so let's see how much oil is actually left in the vehicle, i.e. either leaking, burning, or any of this kind of stuff. I'm going to guess low, but we'll see. Customer, perfect timing, about to check the oil, customer's rocking up. We were guessing how much oil is going to be in this. So what, Tree? So we're going to clean it so we're not cheating. Camera's still live, no edits, still talking. Now normally the oil should be up to here, yeah? Check it out. Not even registering.
That's a viral moment.
That's viral right there. So it's definitely a good time to do it. This is why you service it every 10,000, not on a time basis, because you never know what's going to happen.
Don't do what I did.
Don't
Get
kill
your
him.
car serviced.
Don't kill him in the comments. All right, back with the customer. Quick mid interruption into the program, just explaining to him what's going on. So real quick, so you were curious about your spark plugs. These are the spark plugs. The spark plugs have never been changed. The reason I can tell this is because of this orange tinge, and the top of the actual tip of the spark plug is worn away, number one. Number two, this is your cabin filter. The cabin filter is what filters out all the shit that's coming into your vehicle. As you can see, it is clogged up. But what's interesting is it has been changed at one point, because that is not a standard cabin filter. Brand new air filter ready to go in. Nah, this is the old one. I mean, beeped. This one is done. But all good quality parts, all Ryco, NGK, high quality stuff. We're going to be using Nulon engine oil, so he should be good to go. But when you see a car like this, which hasn't been looked at for a while, people get busy, shit happens. But once I go over everything, because obviously I need to top up the coolant, I'm probably going to do a brake fluid flush on it, check the brakes, check everything, look for leaks. There's probably going to be no leaks with that much oil in it, but yeah, it's one of those situations where invest in a bunch of high quality stuff when you get the service done, because if you don't know when you're going to do it again, it might be the difference between blowing the engine up and not. So we're under the vehicle, and to the point I was making about working on these things, just check this out. You remove one cover, access to the sump plug, and you have access to the oil filter. What a great design. Ugh. Considering how little oil was on the dipstick, let's see how much comes out, eh? I just pulled this out. I don't know if I recorded it. It's literally like maybe 500 mils of oil. There is nothing left. Remember I said these are sweet little cars? They are, and this is a testament to they'll last, but you do need to friggin' change the oil and put some in it. Hey, that's it. That's all that was in there. It's no exaggeration to say this engine could have blown up or cooked a bearing or something like this in the next couple of drives. So see how we go. I mean, obviously if you really want, you can cut open that oil filter and see if there's any metal particulates in there, but let's just leave that and hope for the best. But anyway, Let's chuck some oil in it, but first I'm just going to check these brakes. All right, just checking the brakes out. Now I pulled the wheel off. As you can see, they probably have about 30% left. He wasn't really complaining about any issues to do with the brakes. The rear pads are probably about 50%, so fronts are about 30, rears are about 50-ish, maybe a little bit lower actually than 50. This tire is needing to be changed. It is done. The tire is dated as a 2017 model, so yeah, you would think so. Also, drive belt is cracked, as in the ancillary belt through it, so I've got to change that. Even though the car's jacked up, I checked before, the coolant is extremely low, so top that up. And by coolant being low, I mean in the reservoir, the radiator's full, so top that up. Funny part about it is there wasn't any actual leaks from the vehicle, and I know what you're thinking, there's no oil, it can't leak. No, I mean, like, there wasn't any leaks, like it's must just be burning it over quite a while. So it's kind of what I assumed it would do, but it's not a bunch of Ks, so relative to the last service. But let's check this oil in. It's kind of a weird feeling. It's almost satisfying knowing this car is going to have some engine oil in it now. This is the type of service where once this is actually done, genuinely will feel a difference. The air filter, the mass airflow being clean, the spark plugs being done. The engine will probably spin a little easier with some oil in it. As you see, this is the oil filter cap. This is the type of crap that builds up in there when the oil solidifies and goes all terrible kind of sludge buildup. Even though I just changed it, because of how much sludge would be in there, the oil's a little bit dirty, but the reality is now with routine servicing using high quality engine oil filter and really good engine oil, you can probably save this from being a complete disaster, because at the end of the day, it's a nice little car, so we'll do what we can. A little tip as well when it comes to knowing how low your brakes are. This isn't foolproof, but it definitely is a good little check you can do to see how low your pads are. See this reservoir, how it's halfway between max and minimum? It's one of those situations where you know your pads are getting low. I'm going to test the brake fluid now though. No good. That needs to be changed. The reason that's important is because brake fluid is hygroscopic. What does that mean? That means, to make me sound really smart, it absorbs water. When water absorbs, it doesn't hydraulically press very well, especially in a hydraulic system. Water is no good for that, especially when things get hot. You do not want to deal with that. So you got to flush that. So normally I use the pressure bleeder to actually bleed this system, but sometimes the caps are incorrect. This has left me with quite a dilemma. I've had to work out a system where I can do it on my own, but make sure it's really effective. And I've come up with the following, which will be blurred out. This is my official Southside Mobile brake bleeder. The reason you can't see it is because I don't have enough yet and I want to do a pre-launch. So when it is here, I will then update you all. But until then, I'm going to show you how easy this is, but not show you the part. But just bear with me when I do that. So I'm going to pull a bunch of this old fluid out, which I already have, and then top it back up. And as you can see, that's topped all the way up. Then what you're going to do is go around to the rear left, rear right, front left, front right, and you just simply connect this tool and then away you go. And now that the tool is hooked up, you simply just push the brake pedal. Just push all that old fluid out. And because of the design of this new tool I have, the actual feedback you get into the pedal is really good. Plus you can monitor the actual brake reservoir while you stand there. 5 pumps and you can see we're back down to the max line, so we'll top that back up and go to the next wheel. So you do that to all the wheels, and by that just please bear with me until I get the thing, because once the reveal happens I'm probably going to sell out straight away, so that's why I got to pre-launch it. Just bear with me. But anyway, so I'm going to do that and then we're going to check the brake fluid again. So after getting up and down about 4 times, which is the only real negative, but it's not too bad because at the front you can turn the wheels out, then you can gain access to the bleed nipples. But here's the kicker. Now I'm going to check the fluid and see the difference. So as you can see, we are back under 1%, and that is good. So as you can see, the coolant's low, so we'll top that up. Touch overfilled, but we are now full. Was I not recording that whole test drive? Oh no. Anyway, recorded it, said a bunch of stuff. didn't record it, but essentially I just said, feels really good. All I recommend is he does tires, change that belt, and keep the servicing up to date. But the main reason the customer's in the car is because I want to get his reaction, because I'm curious if it does feel the same, slow, faster, brakes feel better, because he was complaining the brakes were spongier, and as you saw, that fluid has not been changed in many, many years.
It feels good. I can already tell the difference. Like, it's just smoother, less likely to stuff out on me. So I'm very happy. Thank you, Andrew.
No worries, mate.
You have saved the day.
Does it feel more responsive or not?
It does. It does. Definitely has that more quicker reaction time.
There we go.
Yes,
Well,
here first, folks.
You heard it here first. The dude's happy. And at the end of the day, like I was saying before, it's one of those situations where these cars are awesome, so I wouldn't even really worry too much about it. Now he just has to do it every 10,000 Ks and he should be good to go. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys. Customer last review. Happy, sad, would you call me again?
Extremely happy, and yes, I will call you again. But
you already knew that. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Check out the other stuff. If you want to get in contact with me, hit up this Facebook page here. If you want to buy something from the store, although the stock isn't back in yet, just keep an eye out. Check the link down below. If you want to email me, check the email down below. Also have a members section on this YouTube thing. If you want to support the channel, check it out. But other than that, thank you so much again for watching, guys. I'll see you next one. Peace.